to the channel. I am interested in going live so that I can go ahead and do instant readings for you guys. So it does help me out a lot if you guys share these videos on all social media platforms. If you're interested in doing daily readings or listening to the daily readings, I do have TikTok and Instagram that I usually post daily readings for each zodiac sign. If you're interested in doing a personal reading, my email is right up above, and a lot of you have been tipping me on my PayPal, which I'm really grateful. That helps me out a ton. All right guys, and if you're interested in any of the decks that are on the page, they will be listed in the description box below. So Cancer, how are you feeling in this month of November? I feel like me and Cancers have lost touch. I really have very few and in between people that reach out to me that are Cancer, to be quite honest. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but like, have you ever noticed like there are specific signs that you always gravitate towards? Like me specifically, I'm a Virgo, but I usually gravitate towards Virgo men. And I've noticed that during my last 2 years of my adult life, I've had a lot of Aries and Scorpios come around. Scorpio females and males, romantically. When I was younger, I used to have a lot of Cancer friends, but right now it's been so rare for me to actually bump into a Cancer and talk to them and have any sort of conversation. I do usually want to attract like a Leo or a Pisces. I usually find myself very attracted to them. So yeah, like who do you usually bump into? Cancers, I'm getting automatically the Three of Swords. It's reversed. So that lets me know that there was some sort of heartbreak or some sort of disappointment that you've been dealing with that you might not be dealing with necessarily anymore. I have here the Seven of Wands, and I also have the Three of Wands. You're no longer waiting for any sort of consolation or any sort of closure when it comes to any sort of disappointment that you've had. I'm not going to say that this is romantically off the bat, because it could be that you might have just let go of relationships that no longer served you. Specifically, you changed your perspective on someone. Someone disappointed you, and instead of you kind of begging them to change who they were, you were like, you know what? I'm out of here. I'm fucking out of here. I don't need to deal with this shit. Cancer people tend to be very intuitive. I know that they usually have like the reputation of being very sensitive, which is true, I guess, in some ways. I wouldn't say that they're goody two-shoes though, but I will say that Cancer is a type that if they were to do something hurtful to someone, they don't want to forever be like that. Like it's just not natural for them to be like in some sort of chaotic situation. They just don't like that. They just like, they'd rather just be cool with everyone. I have the Four of Wands reversed, which lets me know that there might be some sort of issue that's going on between family, home, or someone very close to you, maybe between two women. Yeah, I have the Five of Wands that popped out on me. So it seems like there was some sort of disagreement that was happening recently between you and someone else. Again, I'm not getting the romantic vibe, but even if it is someone who you romantically have been involved with and you were not really seeing eye to eye, I feel like now you're kind of like, I give up. And not that I give up and I'm defeated. It's more like, I give up. I'm not going to continue to allow you to take so much mental space in my world, because it's clear that you're not going to change, and I don't want to change you. I have the World reversed, and I have the Eight of Cups reversed. Sometimes the Eight of Cups lets me know that you're going back, and the World reverse meaning is another thing. Like instead of it going around and around and forward, it's going to go backwards and it's delayed. Cancer, I don't know if someone has tried to reach out to you and tell you you should give us a second chance, but you're kind of being reminded of all the times of not necessarily when you disagreed, but it was like this person had such a negative, heavy, emotional, influential feeling on you that it really weighed you down. And it's like you're thinking to yourself, even if I wanted to go back, I know that I'm gonna have to go back to something that is maybe 30% awesome and 70% chaotic. And I just don't like those numbers anymore. Cancer, this also could be you. Maybe someone is interested in getting back with you and they're kind of proposing that to you, or you're proposing that to them. But it's like you guys both have to realize, like, we are really conflicting. Like, we really butt heads, and it's not because we want to, but it's just, damn, like, we just do. If this is a romantic relationship, Cancer, I do see that there might have been some sort of, like, someone was disappointed because maybe a marriage didn't come through or a marriage proposal didn't come through. Another thing that I could be seeing as well is that maybe there were other people that were kind of involved, not necessarily like cheating scandal, but it could have been that there were other people that were involved that were kind of in your ear and they were in that person's ear, and they were kind of bringing back and forth information that didn't need to be brought back. And I feel like you are ready to walk away. You're not interested in kind of, you know, feeding into this negative situation anymore, but this person really does have your heart, and this person, or you have their heart, and they're really kind of thinking to themselves, like, how can I mend this situation, right? And I think you're thinking that too, Cancer, because again, Cancer really doesn't like conflict. Like, they really don't like conflict. Look, I have the 7 of Swords. I'm gonna zoom in into this specific card. I have the 7 of, here we go, 7 of Swords. If you look at this card, you see that both partners have their backs to each other. One looks very frightened, vulnerable, but very discouraged and kind of frightened. And you have the swords here. You have the sword here. You have the feminine energy that also has her back turned and her hair is kind of braided and she's looking out the window, kind of like almost looking out. Cancer, if you do decide to go into this relationship and give it another chance, and again, this is just for people who are dealing with romantic relationships. Cancer, if you do decide to go back into a situation where you know that originally, or most of the time, it's chaotic, you guys have to now be honest about what you're looking for, because I think that was one of the things that was really holding you guys back. I think that both of you have two different definitions of happiness, and you guys have a different definition of how to get to that happy place with each other, right? And I think you guys might have assumed, like, it's just gonna work out. It's just gonna work out. Like, it's just gonna, you know, things are gonna take care of itself. Or maybe you assumed, like, this person's gonna change their mind down the line, and they didn't. And you were like, why am I here then? Another thing is, too, Cancer, is that you also have to be very specific of your emotional needs. And maybe that person also has to be very honest about their emotional needs. Because I also feel here that sometimes we tend to play harder, we tend to play stronger, we tend to play more of a gangster than we really are. And then when that person doesn't fulfill us emotionally, we feel neglected, we feel rejected, we feel like this person doesn't take us seriously. But all this time, it was because this person had no idea that we were going through such emotional turmoil. So Cancer, if you do decide to get back with this partner, I really think that there is a strong sexual connection there, but for some reason emotionally you guys just do not bond, and then you guys end up hurting each other with what you say or what you don't say. Be clear about what kind of end game you guys want, what kind of relationships you guys really see each other in, and talk about your emotional needs. Talk about how you want to be approached, how you want to be spoken to. What do you see yourself doing in the next few years, and what kind of life you really want. Cancer, if this resonates, I really do hope that you go ahead and like, subscribe, share. Again, you guys can always feel free to email me. I'm on TikTok, Instagram, I'm on so many social media platforms. And if you guys want to tip me, go ahead and use the PayPal link. It's the fastest way to tip me, and I really do appreciate all the love and emails that you guys send me. Cancer, I hope you have a very safe and blessed and emotional, nurturing month of November.